dee-dum, 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 dee-dum. Hello. Yeah, that sounds about right. Greetings, dear suckers. My name's Joe Bob, and welcome back to Scarlet Hollow. Last time, the dog mare was astonishingly not much help. Really no help at all. But at least we were able to grow our notoriety with regards to our gift. Including catching the eye of someone else who might be similarly gifted. Or claims to be, anyway. Anyway, let's go meet Reese. The three of you leave the library for an early dinner at Reese's. You once again find yourself in front of the Kelly residence. A cold hesitation grips you as the building's history looms over you from the hilltop. Whatever that means. A refurbished Civil War hospital and tuberculosis clinic would be a strange and difficult place to live in during the best of times. You can only imagine the challenges of living there with a severe, chronic illness. I guess. Though it's only early afternoon, it feels much later, the sun already sinking behind the tall mountains that surround Scarlet Hollow. We're a little early. What if Dr. Kelly yells at us? Is that a common occurrence? Yelling at you for being punctual? There's no such thing as early when you're hanging out with friends. That's just extra time you get to spend together. Okay, but what if she yells at us? Then she yells at us. It's too late. The door swings open, like a guillotine blade. Hey! Reese! Oh my god, dude, it's been ages. You must be Joe Bob, right? I've heard a lot about you. Stella's been relentless about making sure I got all the Joe Bob updates. My goodness gracious, there's something that smells terribly off about that boy. Get away from my Stella, you fiend! Gretchen starts yelping at Reese, straining against Stella's grip as she tries to get between them. Are they here already? I knew you'd show up early, Stella. And you brought the dog. Great. Yeah, I thought she might cheer Reese up. I don't know what's gotten into her all of a sudden. The dog stays outside. But it's okay, Stella. We can let her chill in my van for a bit. I'll run the AC and leave her some treats. You know I always have some of those easy chew dog jerkies stashed away. The gall! The gumption! This is a violation of my rights! How? What rights do you have? But we go everywhere together. Do you want to come in or not? Kanika nervously tugs Stella away towards her van. You keep her safe from that monster, Joe Bob, you hear? You don't let a feather of harm fall on my darling Stella. A feather of harm? Sure. Well, what about you, Joe Bob? Are you coming in? Gretchen called you a monster, Reese. Any idea what's up with that? No clue. She's never liked me. Not even the slightest bit of questioning about me talking about Gretchen talking. Naturally. Why would they? Of all people. Reese doesn't do well with dogs. Now come on in. Let's get this over with. You You follow Reese and Dr. Kelly inside. Stella and Kanika aren't far behind you. The house feels cold. Not only is there an odd chill in the air, but the building itself feels too sterile, uncomfortably tidy to the point where you're nervous to touch anything. If it weren't for the aroma of store-bought dinner rolls baking in the oven and the unsettling artwork hanging on the walls, you'd be half convinced you'd wandered into a real estate showing. So, how can I lend a hand? By sitting down at the table and not putting around in my kitchen. I made sure everything was done well in advance, so the only thing left are the dinner rolls, which shouldn't be long. Then we can have a quick dinner, and you can leave my house and go on about your business. But I was kind of hoping to see Reese's new art. We still have time now, right? You aren't seriously considering subjecting your friends to your disaster of a room, are you? It's not that bad. You can still see the floor. Dr. Kelly raises a single questioning eyebrow. I don't mind a little mess. Yeah, I doubt it could be any worse than the way I keep my room. Yes, okay, fine. As long as you stay out of the kitchen, I don't care what you get up to. Cool. We'll just be downstairs. You won't even know we're here. You make your way towards the basement stairs. Interesting. Interesting that he lives in the basement, of all places. The basement is what you might expect out of a tortured artist who spends all his time confined to his studio. Discarded canvases line its edges, while trash and sketches leak out from their piles in the corners of the room, hiding the bare cement floor. Ghoulish faces coat the walls in paint, sneering out at their creator. Is that a facehugger? Your mom is so scary. Is she? Thought she seemed pretty mundane to me. She can be a little intense, kind of overprotective, which I guess makes sense. Anyway, make yourselves comfortable. You'll have to forgive the mess. I've been distracted lately, haven't been cleaning much. Do you need us to break you out of here? I don't think your mom could stop me. I don't know, the doc's pretty resourceful. Besides, I'm stuck inside for my own good. What if I... Do you need us to sneak you out of here? This place feels like a prison. Unfortunately, the prison we're dealing with here is my body, not my room. Are you sure there's nothing we can do? Your company is plenty. It's so nice to have living people down here for a change. Interesting phrasing there. Both the my body is the prison and living people down here. Then again, it's not something particularly insightful to say there's something suspicious going on here. I'd be more surprised if there wasn't. You know we'd visit more if your mom let us. Did she tell you she turned us away yesterday? She said we couldn't even talk to you. It's a little controlling. Mayhap. You came by yesterday? She didn't tell me, but I was probably asleep, that's all. She didn't want to wake me up. I don't think that's her being controlling or anything. Not to cast any doubt on that, but she did say I couldn't bring you any food. She knows that's how I show my friends how much I appreciate them. And she knows I can work around all kinds of allergies and intolerances. And Unless, of course, he can only consume dead men. Or something like that, I don't know. Human flesh. Not gonna lie, it felt weird. I don't know. My body is pretty particular when it comes to food. Oh, he's a vampire, isn't he? Wait, no. Vampires feed off the living, don't they? I don't... Could you feed a vampire a dead body? Maybe? I don't know. Something like that, anyway. She just prefers to have full control over what I eat, so... Okay, maybe that does sound controlling. Indeed. But it's for a good reason. If I eat the wrong thing, it could really mess me up. So she has to regulate my food. Well, I mean, she can regulate the food that Stella would bring, can't she? Unless, of course, telling her what you can eat would reveal far too much. If you ever need a model, I'm here till Monday. That would be amazing. Though, I should warn you, I work odd hours. I don't usually pick up a brush until late at night. Odd hours. Buddy, you have no idea. But if that's not a deal breaker, it would be incredible to have such a captivating model. I look forward to the company, and I hope I can do your likeness justice. Maybe we could all come. Wouldn't that be fun? Kanika's eyes dart uncomfortably towards the floor. Oh. Oh, that's probably a body image thing. Boring. What are you sick with? Sorry, Reese. Joe Bob is pretty direct. We don't have to talk about your illness. Yes, actually, we do. Why not? Why should we not talk about your illness? It's okay. I've come to terms with the way the rest of my life is going to be. Haha, you're so macabre, Reese. You make it sound like you've been sentenced to death. Maybe he has. Or something worse. I kid, of course. You haven't, right? Do you guys even know what his illness is? Have you never asked? Not exactly. No one really knows what's wrong with me, but it's been getting worse. Huh. I suppose that could be true. I can barely keep most food down. My skin always itches like there are worms crawling underneath it. Maybe there are. I could live for a long time, or a short time. No one's sure. But I'm definitely not going to get better. Whatever time I have left is going to be miserable. Well, how do you know that? So, I've done my mourning. My best years are behind me. My future is unknowable. But one day I'll wind up in a pine box, just like everyone else. And I'm okay with that. Maybe. Or maybe you'll live forever. Dang, Reese. I may be a goth, but that's some real nihilistic shit. You're a goth? I honestly didn't notice. I'll make sure to come by more often from here on out. Friendship heals all wounds, right? Sure. Thanks, guys. But you really shouldn't worry about me. I have my art. I'm doing fine, really. True. We'll all join the worms one day. We just gotta make the best of what we've got. Not me. I'll never die. Surely there must be something the doctors can do for you. Even if it's just helping you deal with the symptoms. The doc upstairs has consulted with a lot of specialists. I've tried a lot of medications. Sure, some have been able to alleviate symptoms, but they always come with their own fun side effects. It wound up being a question of picking which set of discomforts I wanted to deal with. I settled on constant nausea and vomiting and a persistent itch I can't scratch. It's manageable. As long as I can still paint, I don't care. And hey, it isn't all bad. Some of it is just weird. Like this. Reese pulls on the skin of his arm. It stretches unnaturally. What in the goddamn? Okay, so probably not a vampire then. They tend to be more living death sort of physique, and skin loses elasticity when you die. So, that's a point against vampire and a point in favor of were-mountain lion. Well, maybe half a point. Hyperelasticity. Kinda cool, right? No, maybe not in favor of were-mountain lion. Because cats and such have skin that's flexible, kind of loose-ish. Not elastic like that. Whoa! Does that not hurt? Nope, it feels fine. Like I said, it gets itchy under the skin sometimes, but I don't know if that's the elasticity, the medicine, or some other part of my condition. So, has Stella told you about everything that happened the past couple of days? Oh, she's told me all about what you guys have found out there. I wish I could see some of it myself, but, you know. He gestures in futility towards the walls of the basement. Are you sure you can't just sneak out one of these nights? The doc isn't keeping me prisoner here, Stella. I'm sick. You know that. I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to... There's nothing to apologize for, and I appreciate the effort. Really, I do. It's just nothing you can really rescue me from. That die's already been cast. Unless I could rescue you from your body. Hang on, can you bend your joints more than most people can? Because if it's that, it could also be a type of EDS. But we were talking about the past couple of days, weren't we? Do you think the town is doomed? I think everything is probably doomed at some point, but I guess that's answering a different question. Do I think the town of Scarlet Hollow is on the brink of collapse? Probably not, but it's not like I have a lot of perspective on what it's like out there. There could be rioting on Main Street, and if Stella or the doc didn't tell me, I just wouldn't know. Unless you heard it from all the way here. I would totally tell you if there was a riot. Well. Unless you were in the riot at the time. Would Dr. Kelly tell you, though? And would Dr. Kelly allow Stella to tell him? I mean, yeah, I'd hope so. But the point I'm trying to make is that other people are my eyes out there. Eyes, ears, and eyes, ears, nose, fingers, tongue. Do you have any thoughts on the ditchlings we've been seeing? I think you should break up with them. You shouldn't see them anymore. Yeah, they've been coming up to my window at night. Oh, is that right? Wait, really? Is that why you texted me that they looked like something out of your nightmares? Yeah, I thought I was hallucinating. I hadn't put it together that we might have been seeing the same thing until just now. I've been sketching them, actually. Tell me what you think. Ugh. they look a bit off model from what we were seeing. But recognizable. He pulls out a sketchbook from one of the piles in his room. Okay, that's exactly what I saw on my way home last night. What does it mean that they've been lurking around here, though? I don't know. They were visiting Isaac's too, weren't they? They've definitely been around. I don't know if it means anything that he specifically saw them. I don't know. But I like the company. They're kind of beautiful in a sad way, if you ask me. A sad way, huh? Agree to disagree with you there. Those things are gonna be stuck in my nightmares until the day I die. What do you think of my cousin? She was always so distant and mean. I probably would have thought she had it out for me personally if she wasn't like that towards everyone. Or if I thought she even knew my name. She kind of slightly did have it out for you personally, actually. Or at least she didn't think much of you. But people change. Maybe she's nicer now. She's still terrible. You guys just never took the chance to get to know her. She's actually really funny and sweet. I don't know if those are the adjectives I'd use for her, but I'll pass, thanks. What do you think is going on with Wayne? Has he visited you too? Who? You know, that guy who's been following Joe Bob around being all ominous. Oh yeah, that slasher creep. I appreciate the classic Jason vibe he has going on. Here's hoping he doesn't live up to the look. For all our sakes. Your art. Each piece exudes a sickening miasma. It's like you can feel something squirming behind the paint. The brushstrokes acting as steel bars, trapping some anguished being within. Slap these bad boys on a mug, you can make $1 or $2. That's what I've been telling him. If you posted these online somewhere, you could get big, man. I think I'll keep them to myself until I die. How selfish of you. You know how it is with dead artists. Their art sells for way more. I hope the doc or whoever winds up inheriting my work makes millions off them. I'd be able to rest easy knowing somebody had retroactively given my life value. No, you wouldn't. You'd be dead. Or you could sell them while alive and enjoy the fruits of your labor while you still exist. That sounds complicated. I'd rather just spend my time painting. Leave the hard work to someone else. Real Goya Black period vibes, with a healthy dose of Beksinski. Thank you, I think. Yeah, that's a good thing. Then thank you. I really appreciate it. To be honest, I don't know much about art history. It's not exactly a popular subject in tiny K-12 rural schools, so my arts education was lacking. I'm working in the dark as far as influence. Haha, well yeah, of course, influenced by Goya Black. And you're doing great, man! You know, you could gain a real following if you ever posted these online, just saying. Nah, I think I'm okay sticking to sparsely populated late-night live streams. That's all the social media I can handle. I don't know how you do it, Stella, having to exist in front of all those people all the time. You always do. The fact that they're actually looking your way doesn't mean anything, does it? Whether it's one person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000,000 people staring at you. What difference does it make? Well, money, I guess. That's what difference it makes. Just don't feel their eyes on you, and they can never... Well, knowing some version of you lives in their heads, knowing they expect something out of you that you might not be able to give them, that's not my problem. It's theirs. Okay, but if the only time you ever put your art on display is a live stream during ghoul hours, When am I gonna be able to see what you've been working on? Can you not watch the live stream after it's done? Or is it one of those things where it immediately goes private or is deleted or whatever? Tell you what, when I die, I'll leave you my paintings. Then you can see them all. That's a bold promise. And maybe they'll be worth millions since I'll be dead. I'll be able to rest easy knowing someone had retroactively given my life value. No, you won't. You'll be dead. I feel the emotions you've put into these. They're writhing just behind the paint, radiating pain and anguish. I know what you mean. I feel it too. When I'm working on them, it's like I'm channeling whatever's plaguing me into the paint. And when they're done, I feel like I've been emptied out, and all the vile things inside me have been sealed away in the canvas. That's funny. I feel the opposite way. When I'm creating something, I'm bringing that thing to life inside of myself. All the things writhing inside of the character I create. I have to take inside of myself. Or how could I possibly write that character? How can I possibly know this character if I do not take everything that he is within myself? It's why I make so many of them. Sometimes when I return to a piece, it's almost like I'm offering an invitation for those feelings to slither back under my skin. There are some pieces I can't even look at. I hide them until I forget they exist. I'd rather not let those particular feelings back in. I don't think I can relate to that. Not wanting to let those feelings back in. I suppose that's just how I've been. The kind of person to find the thing which brings him pain and misery and suffering, and simply hold forward into it. Take more of it into myself, until it no longer has that power over me. Just don't feel what this body feels. Sounds kind of like therapy? That seems healthy, probably? Yeah, art therapy. Sounds like it does you good. Being empty must be better than being full of bad thoughts, right? I needed that, Stella. I needed that. That is... Oh boy. You have absolutely no idea, do you, Stella? None of you do. None of you have any... I think so. It works for me, at least. That's quite a movie collection you've got. Got any Rex? Let me think. Oh, have you heard of Shi no Chi, Death Blood? Is that a Tagainu no Chi, Lost Blood reference? That's a deep cut. Wasn't expecting to see that reference today. That's a reference about 1.5 people will get. Excellent example of both Japanese horror and found footage done right. We could even put it on after dinner if you guys are interested. Okay, maybe that's just a coincidence. Dang, I would usually be down for that, but we've got to head over to Oscar's after this. We promised we'd Ghostbust his place. He's apparently been dealing with a bad haunting. And I feel like we should really be there for him tonight, considering everything that's happened. He and Rosalina probably need our support right now. We could always ditch. This movie sounds good. Oh, Joe Bob, you're so funny. I'll take a rain check on that movie, though. Yeah, we'll definitely come by for a movie night this week. I'm free tomorrow night. Same goes for Joe Bob. How do you know? I should probably work tomorrow, but I can close up early. So, you three go way back, huh? Almost to the womb. The school here is a tiny K-12. Not exactly a one-room schoolhouse, but not far from it. We're lucky we all got along as much as we did. Some kids weren't able to make any friends their own age. They just happened to be born around the same time as some real jerks, and were stuck with them through their whole school career. Poor kids. Yeah, I know the feeling. Not that we were free from dealing with jerks, like a certain Scarlet I could name. Fuck off, Kanika. Okay, she was a little rough around the edges, but she was pretty friendly when you got past that. Maybe to you. The way she used to look at me, you think I rolled in something foul every morning before school. Did you? Same here. But to be fair, the feeling was more mutual between us. She deserved it, though. Yes, unlike you. Wanna come ghost hunting with us tonight? You'll be right at home. Oh wow, do you think you'd be down for that? We'd love to have you. Yeah, it'd be great to have you along. That would be so amazing. But I haven't had the best luck leaving the house lately. I could sneak you out. I'm a real pro at that. Even just walking to town is enough to put me in bed for a week. It sucks. Oh, right. I thought you meant you were having a difficult time convincing her to let you out. Make sure you bring your camera, Stella. I want to see everything that happens. Ah, don't worry. I could bring you along in a piggyback ride. Or bridal carry. You wouldn't have to stress your legs or whatever. Or failing that, I could bring you along in a wheelchair. Just wheedle you around. That'd be fun. Reese's mom shouts from the kitchen. Dinner's on the table! Guess that's it for catching up. Now it's time for catch-up. Make sure you all wash your hands. With soap. Bah. Fascist. I don't want anyone sharing their germs at the dinner table. Sure thing, Doc. I already washed them. I don't care. Wash them again. Fascist. You make your way towards the sink, but are stopped in your tracks by the pull of an odd door at the end of the hallway. It feels out of place, like you've accidentally wandered into a different, older house. But more than that, you feel something radiating out from behind it. Something dark and cold. You felt this before, in the dusty tunnels you so narrowly escaped last night. An oppressive hum, like a muted scream heard through layers of rock, trying to draw you towards it. You feel lightheaded. You are compelled to approach the door, drawn in as if hypnotized. Something wants you to find it. Okay, I get the point. Oh. Hello. Hello there. You do your best to snap yourself out of it, turning into the bathroom and dutifully washing your hands before joining your companions at the table. Ha! Well then. Oh, I'm sure there was nothing important behind that door. Anyway, dinner is already laid out. This is quite some dinner music. Dinner rolls, spaghetti, and a light salad. Kanika anxiously picks at her food. Stella is nervously talkative, and Reese is suddenly quiet and tense, his shoulders tight as his mother perches on the chair next to his. Dr. Kelly eyes all of you with a sharp, fierce gaze. She sits opposite to you at the far head of the table, her features silhouetted against the light of the setting sun in the window behind her. It does make her look vaguely ominous, and he looks even more sickly. She looks a bit... I'm not quite certain. Uncanny. And she just looks normal. It's a position of authority, where her height gives her a vantage point over everyone else. No one at this table does anything without her noticing. It almost feels like, despite the presence of your friends, this is strictly a conversation between you and the doctor. Is it not? Given her protectiveness towards Reese, you find it odd that he's seated between the two of you, rather than the other way around. It's almost as though she's guarded, not only towards you and Stella and Kanika, but towards her son as well. An interesting thought, Street Smart. She's the town doctor. This dinner might be a good opportunity to question her about recent events. Pills. Beg your pardon? She slides a few tablets towards Reese. He obediently swallows some. This is excellent, Dr. Kelly. Is the pasta sauce homemade? No, it's from a jar. I work too many hours to make my own pasta sauce. It really doesn't take that long, but okay. Well, you have excellent taste in brands, and if you ever want any tips on easier home-cooked pasta sauces, you know No thanks, Stella. I have the internet if I need recipes. Thanks again for having us, Dr. Kelly. We really appreciate it. You didn't tell me they came by yesterday. You were asleep. I didn't want them to wake you up. But you could have told me. Why? They were coming over today anyway. I would just rather know these things. Noted. You're gonna continue not telling him. Just gonna say noted, and then never think about this conversation again. Noted, but she won't do anything about it. Her son will remain in the dark. Yeah, no shit, Street Smart. Have you ever heard of factitious disorder? Yes, I have. Well, factitious derives from a Latin word meaning human-made. It has nothing to do with something being factual or not. That's a different matter. But it's a mental disorder where someone is sort of psychologically compelled to fake an illness, essentially. As opposed to, say, malingering, where someone is doing so to get personal gain out of it in some way. Factitious disorder is like an actual mental illness that compels someone to do that. Not sure why we're bringing it up here, though. Of course I have. I went to medical school. What's factitious disorder? Silence falls over the dinner table. It's where someone pretends to be sick, or makes themselves sick on purpose. Or does it to someone else. In layman's terms, I suppose. There's a little bit more to it than that. Oh. Great dinner rolls, Dr. Kelly. I didn't make them. I just put them in the oven. The silence returns. Seconds feel drawn out like minutes. Dr. Kelly's eyes briefly, nervously glance towards her son before flitting back to a position of annoyance. You can't help but feel like what you saw went beyond compassionate worry to be genuine fear. Indeed. I don't know what I just poked at there, but I definitely poked at something. There's no need for everyone to be so tense. Everything's okay. We're all just here to have a nice dinner. Speak for yourself. Doc, really, it's fine. Is it? Or am I being interrogated in my own home by a guest I've never met? In Joe Bob's defense, a lot of awful stuff has happened in the past couple of days, and there are a lot of lingering questions. Malingering questions, heh. It's pretty hard to take the detective hat off once you put it on. That may be the case, but Reese doesn't need to be agitated by this. I feel like you're the one being agitated here, actually. I want to know what's going on out there. I don't care if it agitates me. And look, I'm fine. There's a long quiet as Dr. Kelly closes her eyes in reflection. Alright, I'll try and give this a chance. Hey. What about Reese? Does no one in this town have two parents? Dr. Kelly's glare intensifies. Small towns are full of drama. People meet when they're young and reckless, and it doesn't always work out long term. Plus, these hills are dangerous, and the job's even more so. Things happen. Not everyone gets some fairy tale ending. You can find happy endings anywhere, though. It doesn't have to be perfect, but people can still be happy even if bad things have happened to them. I guess living in denial is a kind of happiness, sure.
Oh, what kind of shit is that, Kelly? Are you even listening to yourself? God, you're stupid.
What exactly does he have? I'm not poisoning my son. So you can stop with the whole thinly veiled accusations. He has a combination of genetic diseases that give him a fragile immune system, among other things. It's too much to get into. A lot of technical terms that I'd have to explain. It's not good to talk, and it can't be pleasant for him to have to hear it again. So let's drop it. I'm fine talking about it. Isn't that funny? I'd rather we talk about something else. Isn't it funny how quickly you jump to using him as a shield against things that you are not keen on dealing with? The more you talk, the less you feel like you're having a conversation, and the more you feel like you're treading on eggshells. That's actually pretty fun. Have you ever tread on eggshells? It's very satisfying. Reese is a talented artist. You must be very proud of him. He has a lot of skill, honed through practice and dedication. I can't say I understand a lot of his pieces, but of course I'm proud. Thanks, Doc.
Doc? That's interesting.
Why are you so hell-bent on keeping your son from seeing his friends? Man. I love this. I love this shit. It's like everyone's so... like, the mood is so ominous. Everyone's so, like... downbeat or intimidated or trying to keep things light. And meanwhile I'm here just being like, so, are you poisoning your son? Basically. And also, why are you being such a controlling bitch? It's great. I love it. I'm his doctor and his mother. I know what he needs better than anyone. And I don't appreciate some stranger who met him less than half an hour ago trying to tell me how to take care of him. Too bad. That's what you're getting. You know, Doc, I feel fine. I mean, as fine as usual, so not perfect or anything. But I don't think seeing my friends has the kind of effect you thought it would. It's been really nice, actually. Hear that? Reese can hang out with friends again. If you're still feeling okay after dinner, maybe you could even come ghost hunting with... Wow. It's astonishing how, in this economy, your foot can afford to install that summer home in your mouth. Really inspiring stuff. Ow! Jeez, Kanika, what was that for? Don't push it, Stella! Just say that next time instead of kicking me. Your boots are heavy. Sorry, Dr. Kelly. We're totally respectful of Reese's boundaries, even though they might seem a little arbitrary and strict. Reese's boundaries, Kanika. That's an interesting way of phrasing it. They're not arbitrary. These rules are in place for a good reason. Tell me how great you feel in an hour when the exhaustion catches up to you, Reese. You'll be knocked out all evening and regretting every minute of this, let me assure you. His ears sure are pointy. You know who else's ears are pointy? A mountain lion's. As if I would regret being able to see other people for the first time in months. I don't care what happens. It was worth it. The tension at the dinner table reaches a breaking point. Alright, that's enough. Dr. Kelly is interrupted by Reese before she can finish her thought. So, we were talking about maybe watching a movie sometime this week, while Joe Bob is still in town. We'll have to see how you're feeling. I can handle a movie, Doc. Yeah, we'll just sit downstairs in the dark. Reese is used to that. I'm sure he'll be okay. You're always overestimating how much you're able to do, Reese. This is why you keep getting sick. If I get sick, so what? It's not like that's ever going to change. I mean, why? He could wake up dead tomorrow. If he's gonna be miserable all the time, perhaps it's better to have periods of worse misery if he can at least break up the misery with something. Or something along those lines, anyway. I'm sick every day, and I'm not getting better. I don't want to spend the last few miserable years of my life holed up in the basement alone just because seeing my friends has been deemed too strenuous. I'm an adult, for God's sake. I can't believe I have to ask for permission from my mom just to have friends over. Reese stops mid-sentence, wincing in pain and wrapping himself in his arms. Don't say things like that. I'm doing everything I can to try and fix... Silence as Dr. Kelly's eyes shoot open. Reese? Reese abruptly pulls himself from the table and leaves. Damn it! I knew it! I knew this would be too much! What? You knew that you being an overbearing cunt would be too much for him? Gee, it seems like there's a very easy solution to that. Everyone, get out of my house. Please, just leave us alone. Stop trying to interfere with this life. All it does is hurt him more. Yes, we're the ones hurting him. Doc. Doc. Isn't that a funny thing to refer to your mother as? We can't just leave him like this. That was when he needs friends the most. No. Now is when he needs me the most. I am his doctor and his mother, and the one that brought this on! I know you care about him. I know that, and he knows it too, but all any of you would do is get in the way. So just leave, please. Don't think I don't know something is up here. Don't think we don't know something is up here. That's an interesting distinction to make. Don't think we don't know something is up here. Yeah. Wait, do we? Don't think I don't know something is up here. I don't care what you think. I just want you out so I can take care of my son. The three of you are rushed to the door. We'll be back, Reese. I hope you feel better soon. Okay. But what if... the danger? You see any weird hairless creatures scurrying around in the woods? I don't tend to go wandering in the woods, so no. You don't have to go all the way to the woods. They've been coming to our windows at night. They've been... what? There are these things called ditchlings, and they've been preying on the local wildlife. And Joe Bob and I found a whole nest of them the other night when we... Oh, I see. They're some of your little cryptozoological creatures. I know it sounds pretty out there, but I've seen these things in person. We're not messing around. They're out there, laying eggs and animals and doing God knows what else. You've even got footage of them. And here I thought you finally managed to get an even head on your shoulders, Kanika. Seems like Stella might be a bad influence on you. I know her little stories can be convincing. That's only because she's managed to so thoroughly convince herself. She's not making up stories. Neither is Kanika, and neither am I. All you have to do is look outside after dark. There have been more every night. They're all pale and doughy. Their faces, like sculptures of humans that didn't set right. It's not a bad description. I see. You stay up too late painting your grisly faces, so you've started to see them everywhere. I'm sure whatever's outside is just raccoons or... That's bad grammar. Stop. Stop doubting everything I say. Stop trying to rewrite things I tell you to fit what you think should be true. There's weird shit going down in Scarlet Hollow, whether you want to face it or not. The more you talk, yeah. Has anyone come in suffering from hallucinations? I'm not at liberty to discuss private medical information. Hey, sure? Not even a little bit? Could help our investigation into the strange goings-on. It's not like you have to name names. Investigation? Into what? The mine collapse? Your little ghouls? I think this is best left to professionals, Stella. Not someone who runs around in the woods with a camcorder. But we saw some stuff down in the mines last night that I can't really explain, Dr. Kelly. Maybe if we knew if there were any miners suffering from hallucinations, we could just rule it out as a gas leak, but... You were in an abandoned mine. The chances that you were huffing something dangerous and hallucinatory are through the roof. Leave it at that and treat it as the accident it was, not like some kind of a mystery to unravel. You sure do like to have your shields to hide behind, don't you, Dr. Kelly? Don't you? Have you seen any sick animals lately? I'm a doctor, not a vet. Is there a vet around here? Didn't someone come in with a sick cow last week? Yeah, it's not like I examined the thing. I just told them what I just told you and sent them on their way. You said it had lumps. Sure, it had lumps, but I assumed it was suffering from some cow disease. It's not something I've done much research on. I don't know how normal it is for a cow to be covered in lumps. Doesn't that sound like ditchlings? Are no farm animals safe from their devious clutches? Dr. Kelly, in Stella's footage, it looked like there was something pupating inside of one of Duke's chickens. I bet those were the lumps on the cow. Oh, Kanika, you're never going to convince her. She's not some sort of skeptic like you. She's something far more putrid. You really should have taken a look. You could have made discoveries previously unknown to the scientific world. Or I could have spread some new horrible disease to my chronically ill son. Surely you'd be more likely to have that happen treating human patients. I'll leave these discoveries to someone else. Tension at the break. Interesting. So it happens. Seems to happen regardless. After a certain amount of time. Do you know Sam Wayne? Sam Wayne? Dr. Kelly takes a moment to think. No, doesn't ring a bell. Someone you know? Someone who's been following Joe Bob around. Super mysterious guy. We have reasons to believe he might have caused some kind of weird illness at the mines. He definitely looks like he could use some medical help. So please let us know if he shows up or anything. If there's someone harassing you, you should get the police involved. This isn't any of my business. I've not seen a single policeman this whole time, I don't think. My cousin says she admires you. Really? I didn't think Tabitha could look up to anyone who isn't a Scarlet. You just didn't get to know her. She had tons of inspirations. Rockefeller, Carnegie, Ford. Ugh, that's even worse. She admires me so much, she shouldn't be afraid to come in for her yearly physical. Especially since her aunt and now her mother both passed away at such relatively young ages. And I think the women in the previous generation fared even worse than that. That's interesting. I can't remember the last time I saw her in my office. She should get her priorities straight. You can tell her I said that. Maybe she'll listen to family. You're a doctor. Have you ever seen a dead body? Probably. What kind of question is that? I'm a doctor. Of course I've seen a dead body. I have, in fact, seen many dead bodies. She's also the Scarlet Hall coroner, so she's seen the dead body of everyone who's died in Scarlet Hollow, at least in the past few decades. I'm not a coroner, I'm a medical examiner. A coroner is an elected official. I'm just a doctor licensed to do autopsies. But it's not something I have to do very often, and not exactly what I call dinner talk, so let's drop it, shall we? Aside from Reese's mom staring down the table, nobody is making eye contact with anyone else. If you're the medical examiner, do you know how my aunt died? She suffocated. Tabitha said she suffered from sleep apnea, and at your late aunt's age, it can be deadly. Suffocated, huh? Well, that couldn't possibly be foul play at all. I wonder if Tabitha smothered her to death or something. She should have come in more often. If she'd let me know she was having trouble sleeping, we could have worked on a solution. And who knows, maybe she'd still be here. No one in the Hollow thinks they need a doctor until they're 6 feet under, I swear. Okay then. Well, that was enlightening. To a degree. That girl ain't right. I'm starting to think we might actually need to organize some sort of prison break. God damn. But until then, I have been Joe Bob, and I'm very peeved. And remember, dislike the video, unsubscribe if you're for some reason subscribed, and leave a nasty comment in the comment section down below. Fuck you all so much for watching, and so long, suckers.
You're gonna be okay, kid.